Hello my friends, this is B1 from DZG, and today I'm going to do a little review of Army of Two The Devils Cartel. Now, I've already played through maybe half of the game already, and I will give you guys what I think about this game. The game itself, let me first start off saying the first Army of Two and the second Army of Two games, I absolutely loved. I thought they were amazing, fantastic. I thought the customization was brilliant. I loved it how you could take something as simple as a little pistol, and at the end of the game you could have something that could kill elephants. You know, I thought the paint jobs were funny. I thought just generally the game itself was funny, witty dialogue, and especially the second game, how it expanded on Salem and Rios' characters. I think it was improved. So here we go, right, Army of Two, The Devils Cartel. Now, first things first guys, you do not play as Salem or Rios, unfortunately. They are in the game and you do some missions with them, which is really cool. There's a couple of nods to the first couple of games. But you actually play as a guy called Alpha or Bravo, respectively, if you're playing as one player, first player or second player. This game was made for co-op, so Xbox Live is fully supported, online is fully supported if you're playing it on the PS or the PC. And also it incorporates split screen, which is something that has died in games, which I find is really unfortunate. Something that has died out, which essentially was the reason people brought games, was to play games with friends. And some games are bringing it back, which is great to know, which is fun. And couch co-op, some of the best times I had as I was growing up was couch co-op on old PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games with some friends, some beer, and just basically having a laugh, blowing everything up on a split screen. Especially when they released the multi-tap and stuff that alleged to play 4-player in games. But let's stop talking about my childhood and let's return back to games like this. So, Army of Two Devils Cartel, you play as Alpha or Bravo. When you go to customize, you can customize your armory or your weapon loadout. Now, as I told you guys, I have been playing this game for some time now. So my primary weapon is a light machine gun. Obviously, there's a lot of weapons in this game. There's some that you can expect from other games like the MG40, MG23, RPD, this, that and t'other. Assault rifles, they've got an M4, an AK, you know, all the weapons you'd think to see in these games. The only problem I have with this game is, as you can see, they've taken away some of the weapons, and if I quickly flick through some of the different classes of weaponry, they have actually reduced the amount of weaponry in this game, which I was slightly pissed off at, because one of the reasons I loved the Army of Two games was because you could pick any weapon and you could customize them to do anything. You could have a ballistic shield on an AK, you know what I mean? It was making the silly weapons. And then this game's taken a bit more of a serious turn, which I wasn't really happy about. So so even the things such as the stocks, like in the other game, you could equip any stock from any other gun on any weapon, and unfortunately they've taken that away, which, even though it adds some customization, this is dwarfed by the first two previous games. So if I can honestly say, guys, if you're going to pick up one of the Army of Two games, I advise picking up the first two. This one was a little bit of a letdown, and even though it's not a straight sequel, it did kind of let down quite a bit on what it was supposed to be delivering. But all the weapons are pretty nice. My secondary weapon is a sniper rifle, but I think what I'll go for is, I think I'll equip my shotgun, my lovely ASG combat shotgun, and my pistol. If any of you guys know me from other games, M1911, you have to have this pistol. It's beautiful. Yes guys, you can customize paint jobs. You can actually customize a secondary paint as well, so you can have it gold, matte gold, dark ivory, you know, and just basically pimp up your guns like before. But again, when it comes to things like your aggro meter and everything, it doesn't give you that option of customizing your weapons loadouts to give you full aggro or minimal stealth. And that's another thing I'm going to get onto, guys, when I show you the gameplay. So what we're going to do is we're going to customize operative. Now, this is one improvement in the game, is because you're not playing as Salem or Rios, you can actually customise your masks. I mean, I know there was mask customisation in the 40th day, but you had to go online and you had to do it all online. You had to sign up to EA account and all this, that and t'other. When in this, you can actually create your own mask. Now, this is one I made. It's the mask creator works quite like the emblem editor on Call of Duty. So this is the mask I'm using at the moment. I've made a couple more funky ones, which are pretty nice. But then you can also use proper masks, like the ones in the game. So this is the Alpha's primary mask, and this is Bravo's. But what you can do, they even have some other various companies put some funding in to obviously promote their items. So you got Battlefield one. There's a couple of inked ones here, which are really nice, very tattooed. Prima. So they've got some of the old fun ones, like if I can flick all the way down. So they've brought back the zombie mask from Armour 2, 40th day. They've brought back some of the other masks, which is always nice and goes to a nod back. And as you can see, guys, they have a few cameos from the other games that you've played in the past. So I'm going to stick to the mask I've made, and I'm going to stick to the weaponry, and I'm going to click missions. I'm going to play solo for the time being, and I'm going to select mission. I'm going to click, let's say, cause and effect. Let's start from the beginning area. So go to mission. So as you can see, guys, also another thing during the customization, you can actually customize the body armor your operative is wearing as well, which is really nice. It adds a bit of just a bit of customization to your body armor as well as the armor you're wearing on your face. So like I said, Salem and Rios are in this game. The whole premise is Salem and Rios and the lady from the first game, and the second game, they want to take down the Mexican cartels. They use their operatives to try and get rid of the enemies. Well, the cartels, because the cartels are the people that run. I think the game is set in Mexico, I believe, and your operatives are just trying to stop them. One thing I do like also is you can customise your tattoos. So if you look on my character, he's pure customization, and even in the videos, they wear the masks and they wear the armor.
Rios, Alpha in position.
Bravo in position.
Good. What have you got?
2 guards, armed but sleepy. Permission to engage.
Don't need permission to engage. Just engage.
I like this kid. Let's keep it quiet. We got this.
Permission to engage.
This is our first mission with TWO. What the hell's wrong with you?
Nothing, man. I'm just trying to loosen you up.
Nice. You've done well, kids.
Come on, we're going this way.
So like I said earlier, Salem and Rios are actually in this game, which is really nice. Controls are very simple, very much like the first game.
Make a little noise, lure them toward us.
Like I say, enter the compound. This game is very cover-based, a bit like Gears of War is. So you tap A and you can go into adjacent cover and all sorts.
First mission, you think you already
like so, which is pretty nice. It all seems smooth. I've never had any crashes in games. The AI itself is a bit dull and a bit dumb compared to it was in the first couple of games. But a thing I have noticed, guys, is on the meters on your screen, especially when you aim in, you in the other games you had a stealth meter and you had an aggro meter, usually at the bottom. I think it was the bottom of the screen, which
Eyes open.
that has kind of gone. You kind of need to gauge on if your enemies are actually concentrating on you or your partner, which is one good.
Roger that.
Well, it kind of destroys the point of the teamwork. It kind of keeps you guessing a little bit more. As I'm playing with the AI, sometimes the AI can takes a while to respond to what you're actually doing if you're doing a co-op action. But then again, when you're playing multiplayer, sometimes the
Looks like
the AI can be just as bad. So as you can see, points are popping up on the screen. These points are very much like what they're doing, Bulletstorm, and they do contribute to how much money you're going to earn. So obviously you get ones for surprising enemies, for flanking them, for killing them, for getting multi-kills. Let's throw a grenade over there at that truck. There we go. See, tag team, so obviously somebody shot him before I lobbed the grenade in, so I got a surprise. There we go, kill that guy with a melee kill. So, as you can see, when you start to lose health, you get a strange thing, like you start whiting out, and then you get down into down to the ground like you did in the original Army of Two games. One thing that I've gotten rid of is, you know, the bromance. That was one of the comedy parts of this game. Is that like you kill a room of enemies and then you can go up to your partner and fist bump them or give them a smack round the head if they didn't perform well. They've gotten rid of all that, which is a shame because that's one of the things that made this game as good as it was. Okay, that's on fire. I'm dying. So, as you can see, teamwork in this game is paramount. Even though you are big hulking guys, you do seem to take damage quite a lot. And even though you are badasses, you do need to stop, watch what you're doing. So let's equip a shotgun. So right now I have Dragon's Breath rounds on this shotgun. So it's a little nod to Incendiary rounds and how popular they became after the Call of Duty games. Had that one mission with the let's kill that guy. So as you can say, the game isn't a bad looking game. It's very linear though. I can't really say much because the first two games were linear, but at least they offered certain open areas for you to take, for you to be able to flank enemies and get round them. Alright, so I'm going to press left bumper now and go into my rage mode. So you have two different types of rage mode. I've just activated the second type, where everything goes slow motion, you fire stupid amounts of bullets. As you can see, people's limbs are coming off, legs, body parts flying out, which is always good fun. And there's then the first one, which gives you increased damage, allows you to do a little bit more damage, but that's basically it. But as you can see, they've kind of taken away the stealth reward of somebody being ultimate aggro and somebody being ultimate stealth for this bar, which increases your firepower and increases your damage resistance. Because as far as I know, you can take a hell of a lot of damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this door. So the game itself, it's quite fun. It's okay. I'm not saying it's amazing. It does have some flaws, especially when compared to the original two games, which is a shame. You know, usually games sometimes get better as time goes on, but this is one of those which you are kind of better off. If you're a fan of the first two games, it's well worth purchasing just to add to your collection. But if you guys are after some proper full-on co-op experiences with levels, especially if you guys are a bit more hardcore and like to play the harder difficulties on games, Army of Two 1 and Army of Two: The 40th Day are well worth picking up for their co-op situations, the scenarios, and just the wacky gun customizations you can come up with. As you can see, you can order your AI opponent about, well, AI companion about, through using the D-pad, which always helps quite a lot. I apologise for all the pop-ups, guys.
What are you joking?
Another good thing, guys, is DICE.
Yeah, and neither is Bullet Kid.
DICE's Frostbite engine, with all the exploding buildings and everything, was actually used to create this game. So bits of buildings do come off, scenery does get destroyed, which is always good fun. Another thing that destroys the whole co-op thing is Alpha and Bravo seem to be really arsey to each other, and they seem to really not like each other, which is a bit of a shame, really. But what can I say? As a co-op game, it's well worth picking up. So as you can see, right at the end of this mission, I have leveled up. I've gone up a level. It's given me some cash. I've unlocked some new guns, but I still need to purchase them afterwards. I've unlocked some new tattoos as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip some of these, and then we're going to go to Armory. So one thing they've seemed to have done in this game is they have increased the customization of your operative, but they have reduced the customization of the guns. Now, as much as I enjoy being able to customize my operative and make my own masks and choose my own creative gear and customize what my character's wearing, I gotta say, and even though, like, considering I have tattoos myself, this whole customization of tattoos is pretty nice, pretty epic. But as far as I can tell, it takes when you can't use your own, when you can't customize weaponry to the full extent you want to create them, it does destroy. I don't know. It does destroy what the game is about. This whole game is about brotherhood, about two guys kicking the crap out of loads of enemies with big, huge customizable weaponry where you can customize to your teeth. And secondary, well, the masks were iconic. In the second game they did fantastic with the mask customization. It's just a shame you had to go online and sign up to loads of stuff to be able to do it. But the third game, like I said, is a good game. It's a good co-op experience. I'd play the first two games first, or play this one first, just to kind of... Well, actually, play the first two games first, and get this one if you're a collector of the Army of Two games, if you enjoyed the first two. I think they've taken a lot of stuff out that made Army of Two the game it is, but they've added some additional customization. The levels they've kind of made shorter, so they're a bit more like... very much similar to Lost Planet 2's chapters, but other than that, I think the game is fantastic. It's got decent graphics, it's a good laugh. If you're playing it with a few friends or playing it over Xbox Live with your mate, you can get into some really funny situations. Probably not as entertaining as the first two games, but it's well worth going out and purchasing, especially considering the game has dropped considerably in price, and it's well worth picking up for the small price it is for pre-owned. So without further ado, this is B1, signing out.